on at least on the YouTubes. All right. Well, welcome, welcome.
I'll do the recording, Craig, so
Okay, very
we
good.
got a backup.
All right, welcome everybody, and thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. It is Thursday. Oh, and I love it when I talk back to myself on these. When I'm monitoring, I'm letting everybody know some behind the scenes stuff. I always monitor both the broadcasts. And sometimes I cannot control the audio on those broadcasts in the very beginning. So I'm hearing myself talk when I start, and sometimes it's just very confusing. You should try it sometime. It's really tough to do. All right. That being said, we're squared away. Let's get to this. Welcome, 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 everybody. It is Thursday, August 3rd of 2023, and it is time for the Inner Circle Breakthrough Session with Robert Hollis. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. I hope you guys are ready to go and share what you want to share with Robert, because we're going to help get you through some of the things that are maybe blocking you or that you're having some issues with, some challenges with. I like that word a little bit better, challenges, because the lessons that we learn from these challenges help us to move forward in our lives and take us to the next level. So thank you all very, very much. We appreciate you joining us. We're going to get started here in just a minute after I say, if you're watching us on YouTube, please go ahead and like our video. I see 5 thumbs up, which are really good, and we appreciate you doing that. Let's make it 6, maybe more than that. Okay. Anyways, I know it's a select group that gets to watch that YouTube channel, but we do appreciate it when you are here and watching, either here on Zoom with us live or on the YouTube channel, live or recorded. So let's get started. And thank you very much, Jody. I appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody's comments. I missed you guys too, very, very much. So bless you and thank you. Without further ado, let's get started. Let's give it over to the man who is the reason why we are all here, who is our head honcho for our inner circle, the gentleman who is our guide, our GPS to success. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Mr. Robert Hollis.
Thank you, Craig. How many people miss Craig? I mean, oh my God. It's like everybody double hands up, throw some heart emojis in there. Rebecca did. Yeah, it's great to have Craig back. My opening statement, very simple, is probably some of you have probably been able to read between the lines, especially this week. But how many people have ever heard the phrase Black Monday? You know what I mean? It's for some of you that are really, really young, you probably don't, but it was just one of those things where the stock market flipped upside down and there was really no one that really understood why. You know what I mean? In fact, there's been a lot of rules and regulations that have put together to stop that from happening again. But just when you think that it is not going to happen again, then 2008 comes. And you're watching people at Lehman Brothers, box their stuff up. I can't imagine working for a company that's been around for 100 years and they call you up and say, hey, Jody, you need to get down here and put all your stuff in a box because they're going to put a chain on the deal. And then you think, oh, that's okay. And then you hear about stuff like Toys R Us. And there's all these markets that, one that's been really recent for me before the one I'm going to share with you is, the whole episode that happened sort of with the pandemic. All of a sudden we realize that something can happen that's totally out of our control. And it really flips the economy. It flips everything, upside down. And then the next one for me was October 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years this October. There was a new group that came into the company. It was called the Beyond Chocolate people. They're the ones that got the XE trim. And all of a sudden they brought in Kathy and Todd Humphreys. and they introduced us to a thing called CoinZoom, right? And I've never seen a presentation like that in my entire life, where just, great things happen serendipitously. And you guys probably heard some of my stuff where, everyone can sit around and get upset and blame somebody. And then Jim Rohn would say, that's interesting. Which is not good closure for me. Can you imagine you guys helping me with sharing your breakthroughs with me? And you just go, Robert, can you help me stop beating up myself? And my response was, well, if that's interesting, but if I were you, I wouldn't take that class. See, that's not that's not very good help for people, right? And so if any one of you are there at the national convention in Las Vegas, well, Todd Humphreys had his CoinZoom account online, on big screen. I think he made like $98,000 in his 45 minute presentation. So it was sort of hard to listen to him when you're like, is his income going up that much, that fast? And of course, a lot of you that do know a little bit about cryptocurrency, it was, in the surge when it was going up past 60, it's 60,000 and it was 62,000. And I know enough of you guys know people that have been involved in crypto things. And man, they love to post online when, oh my God, it's 55. Now it's 56. Oh my God, it's 57. But we don't see much of that anymore because I believe it dropped all the way to 19 or something. So isn't it funny how the world, if you guys notice, Wall Street, talking about any industry, the Wall Street, crypto, all of them. So if you talk to people in the crypto market right now, they say if you bought crypto at the beginning of this year, you're up. You know what I mean? You made money this year. And then people go, yeah, but you told me to buy it in August years ago. So until it comes up to 63, we're in trouble. So a lot of you know that I'm involved, a super affiliate with My Daily Choice. And all of a sudden, Terry and I, we threw a bunch of money into Akashics, into CoinZoom. I followed Todd Humphreys and Kathy Humphreys. Exactly what they told me, so bought all the altcoins and all the stuff that they told us to buy. And for 3 months, I think we put in a total of like 16,000 and it went to like 21,000. And then all of a sudden it went down to 4,000. And so I know some of you watching this live or recorded is like, Robert, why are you talking about these big losses and you're laughing? Well, because I'm the same guy that laughs when I seen my income go up. We got paid today, right? And the joy that I see in everything because of my mindset is like, Joshua Daramel, I said, you got to tell me, you got to tell me. And he said, I made 2.3 million Naira today. And it's like, do you guys realize that's 6 times more money than that kid has ever made in a month in his life? And I call him, if you guys hear me call Joshua and people like that, even Arthur, I call these people kids because they're the age of my oldest son, which is 41. You know what I mean? So if you're 41 or younger, you're my kid. I just got I just gotta tell you. So Arthur said he just turned the 43. So he's still a kid. So Josh Wagle is not only the smartest person I know. There used to be a guy named Doug Mascari that was a venture. I met him. He's got stuff in the Epcot Center. So if you guys have ever put on headphones at Epcot and you can actually hear someone cutting your hair and they're not, it's like he not only figured out the Y and the X, but also the Z axis of sound. So you close your eyes and you put these headphones on and you hear someone crumble up a bag and you know exactly where they're crumbling the bag up. And then they throw it and it hits the wall and you can follow it. And it's not happening. It's just in your ears, right? So believe it or not, this technology still hasn't been used really good in augmented AR.
Augmented reality.
Or virtual reality. So, when you start plugging that in with 3D and 4D or whatever you're calling it, and that was the smartest guy I knew my entire life until I met Josh. And so when I see how calculated Josh is and how much he overthinks everything and how he, won't let stuff out to the public until he knows that he knows that he knows. And so you guys already know where this is going because some of you have seen between the lines. But all of a sudden, I decided, well, I'll do it again. So the minimum was 2,500 that we were supposed to put in the gold bot. I think by the time I transferred some Ethernet and Bitcoin over from CoinZoom from my big loss with crypto, and then $1,000 I put in out of the bank account, we put in like $3,100. And so the first month that money was in there, it grew by over 9%. So then I thought, why not just put $27,000 more in there? So I had 27 sitting in another crypto thing that didn't work for me. So I zipped that over there. So I had a total of $30,500. And so instead of calling it Black Monday, I'm going to call this Red Tuesday. Look at me laugh. So you guys have seen me do this before. So let me zero that in there. So if you guys can see, my top account was 30,513, and now it's negative 22,000. And there was $6,900 left in my account. And this was after 1 day of trading. So look at the losses: 5,000, 2,000, 1,500, 3,000. And it does show the bottom one. So at the bottom one, you can see that it ended up being 69.17. And I left a message with Josh and I said, so should I leave that in there? And he goes, no. So now I cleaned out the 69 and put it back over into my CoinZoom account. And I'm actually going to transfer that back into Terry's bank account. I don't have one. So why did I bring that up to you guys? I think that you've probably seen between the lines. And here was my goal. So you guys have been Inner Circle members, right? Why do you think that I hadn't shared this big time online? Do you guys realize I only shared like one that I made $199? So I did a screen and a short video showing that it cost me $199 for a Akashic membership. And so as soon as I made $200, I withdrawed $199, the cost of the membership. And I did a video on that because I know a lot of people have been involved in a lot of awful things and you don't get any money back. So I was sort of following Matty Pips's deal where he was showing that he took some money out. So I thought I'm going to show that. But I wasn't interested in really going public and sharing it with everybody in the world. I shared it with my Inner Circle members, but not the rest of the world, because I was actually waiting for the 6th of August. Guess what would have been happening on the 6th of August? I would have had 27,000 in there for over a month. And I thought, if I wait a month and I get a return, then that's brutally honest, isn't it? So I'm just giving you guys my results 3 days ahead of time because I'm never going public. While I was talking to Craig, And my son, I shared this with my son, Matthew, of course, right? And he immediately came back and he goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm going, I hooked up with a guy. I hooked up with a guy like 5.5 years ago. This made me $4.5 million. And twice, I allowed him, listen closely, you guys. I allowed him to get me excited about Akashics. And I went against my nature and promoted a product inside of Akashic, one being CoinZoom, the other one being the GoBot. And I went out of character going, maybe I could promote a product. And Steve Jobs said this best. I think I said this in one of the videos, is Steve Jobs said this best. When you look back at your entire life, you can connect the dots. And you can connect your dots going, I messed up there, and that led me to this decision. That led me to this decision. That led me to this decision. And even though I couldn't see it, during that time, that it was so dark and so awful. And I was asking myself, why is the hell does this stuff happen to me? Why do I go from one bad thing to another? But you could actually go back and look at the connecting of the dots and going, I made a really, really, really stupid decision right there. Right? Now, how many of you guys have also seen that in a positive realm? So you get to connect the dots in the positive realm is so looking back, I can go, yeah. And then just total upswing, right? So for those of you that know me for a long time, the last company I worked with that totally destructed is like I was actually anti-network marketing. So I'm trying to share with you guys how human I am, that I can build something for 2, 3, 4 years and then get really, really crushed because it hurt me and the people that I believed in. So then I just don't want anything to do with network marketing for a while. And you know what I call that? Because I'm successful? Retirement. Now that's bullshit. I didn't have the heart. How many people know what I'm talking about? It's like, and what we do in situations like that is we also really take a big paintbrush, don't we? It's like, I always explain this to people with relationships, because you get your heart broken and just for a while you go, I'm just rather be single. I'm not interested in any relationship at all. I'm done with that, right? And then you heal a little bit, and then one day someone says, hey, Robert, are you open to meeting anybody? As long as she's not a redhead. That starts to lower my standards. So now it's not all women are bad, only redheads are bad. And am I the only one that does that? Or do you know people, or are you willing to admit yourself that you do that, right? And so then your standards start getting back to being corrected. Another one I love using is, maybe some of you have never had a speeding ticket, you know what I mean, or gotten a warning. But it's funny, when you get a speeding ticket or a warning for doing something wrong, it's amazing how cautious you are until you're not. It's like all of a sudden you find yourself creeping up, going a little faster, doing the slow and goes, you know what I mean, not coming to a complete stop. And that's just human nature. So I wanted to share with you guys that I apparently had recovered from the Akashic thing with the CoinZoom. That I felt that Josh had figured this out. I've never caught Josh ever even stretching the truth a little bit. So for 6 months, he was sending me screenshots. Look at, I'm testing this thing. And when I talked to Josh, he was saying that he was going to open it up and, in Cancun. And here's what Josh Weigel did. I know that He's never ever going to say anything personal about this. But Josh said, you know what, Robert? I'm selling all my properties. I'm selling all my properties. I'm selling my extra cars. We only need one vehicle. We're selling everything and moving to Michigan. And I'm going to take all that stuff and I'm going to put it in the gold bot. So I know the one account that he was sharing with people that had 100,000 in it was so people could calculate the amount of money that he earned, right? And you could see it. And he didn't do that test account until March. So it was March, and then May and April showed that he earned 89%, when prior to that it was 20%. So it went from 20% to 40% a month. And now Josh is going, I got to share this with the world. First question, did he have to share it with us? No, because that already shows me what kind of person Josh Weigel is. So now that this has happened, I can't imagine what this kid lost. The amount of money and time that he put into it, the amount of money and time that he put into programming it so that he could launch it to the world. I also know how much Josh believed in this. He really, really thought it was going to be a major shift of wealth for people that wouldn't take the time to learn the skills to be able to sell something or recruit somebody. He really wanted this to be something where people could buy a membership, put $2,500 in, and let it ride and change people's lives forever. So if you know people that are sort of let down by this information, I can't even imagine the way he feels. So that's why I'm lighthearted about it. He's helped me make my wife $4.5 million, and we've lost 14 and 22. So that's what, 36? We've lost $36,000 betting on Josh and made 4.5 million. How many people can understand where I am? So, it'd be weird if this didn't work. So for the Inner Circle members, I was never, ever lying to you when Corky would come out or Lisa Marie would come out or Rochelle would come out and go, are you going to teach us how to skirt around the system, get a VPIN or whatever, and make a free account that I can get paid off so I could invest my money? I never, ever pursued and figured out how to do that because I didn't feel like from my heart yet it was where it needed to be. And now I understand again that I'm being guided. See, because I was going to go ballistic on August 6th. And so I even shared a neat little message with Josh Weigel, and I hope you guys will find this interesting. I said, if you ever want to test something, test it with me first. I said, because I'm going to throw it out there and really pray and meditate about it. And if it flips upside down, we just stop from hurting a lot of people. So I was telling people that, hey, I just invested a lot of money in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if it's really meant to be, it's going to happen. And then it crashed. So I just want to tell each and every one of you that I'm always going to talk to my Inner Circle members like your family, because you are to me. And I hope that me sharing that story it's mind-boggling to me how we can be so full of joy and so enthusiastic with our wins. Something just hit me where, people that aren't religious get a little upset because someone runs a touchdown in the end zone and catches a remarkable pass, and he drops down and points up and says, thank God. You know what I mean? You don't get to see the person that fumbled and then the other team picked it up and ran it for a touchdown and they lost. And the guy that fumbled points upstairs and says, I just want to give all glory to God. How many of you would freaked out a little bit if you've seen a boxer, and he's a world champion and then he gets knocked out like Mike Tyson did. They interview him afterwards. Wow, you lost your championship. I just want to first give glory to Allah. I think a little people get a little bit pissed off, that people that were not winning were giving glory to the same ones that they give glory to when they are winning, right? So I don't have much more to say to that, but I just wanted to be open and honest and transparent with all my inner circle members, because I always will be. I always will be. And so that's all I have to say about that. And then let's go through some breakthroughs. Let's go through some questions or wins or comments or anything.
Sounds like a plan. But first, before we get started, and I've got three people with their hands raised, so that's a good sign to get started. Cool. I do want to welcome three new people to the Inner Circle based on this previous week. First of all, Erlene Day, Rita Brooks, and Linda Ott. Welcome to the Inner Circle family. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, so here's who I've got, Robert. I've got Bill Shoemaker, John Tier, and James Saunders, who have their hands up and ready to share with you. Let's get started first. The man who will start this whole thing off, Mr. Bill Shoemaker. Unmute yourself and please share.
Thank you, Mr. Craig Jackman. You're awesome, brother. It's good to have you back.
Bless you. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to have him back.
Well, Robert, thank you for being so transparent. I bought into Bitcoin when it was at its peak at 18,000, and I bought it at its peak when it was at 65. So yeah. It is what it is. I really think it's rigged. I really think that
I do too. That could be
underpowered.
You hear certain people like Robert Kiyosaki talk right now, or that David Beto, or some of these people. They're even on Joe Rogan. And I didn't know that, there's basically three companies that own 88% of everything. So Vanguard and BlackRock, I think it's called, and something else. And so I've always had this funny thought, Bill, and it's just a thought. But, whether we're dealing with real estate or the stock exchange or crypto or anything, I just believe there's people that, we make a big deal out of people being worth billions, when there's a couple of companies now that are worth trillions. And then these companies own like 88% of the Fortune 500. They own major parts of their stock. And I'm going like, when everyone just starts winning, maybe there's a little group or all these, the little guy, the big companies are all making money, but all of a sudden it seems like the little guy, the couple of more percent of the little guys go, it always seems like it's late for us. I put myself in the little guy. It's like, okay, I'll get an extra rental property, or I'll buy, some stock and I'll get some crypto. And then it seems like I always have this thought, Bill, that there's like four or five people that get on a conference call. They go, let's sell. Let's just sell and flip the market upside down and watch everybody panic for a while.
Right. So did you learn your lesson?
So I've been thinking my whole life, Bill, that I just want to find a way one day to be on that conference call. So I know when to sell, you know what I mean? When to get out of the market. So
well,
now I'll probably keep risking. I'm super, super, super conservative. And on top of that, I do bring a lot to prayer. You know what I mean? So some people will look at a $22,000 loss or a $9,000 or $10,000 loss. That compared to the income that I make is like really nothing. So
I'll take the 4.5 million.
Yeah. And so, to some people, losing $30,000 would be like, devastating. To me, it's like, it's even less than 3,000. I think I would be more upset as when I had no money in the bank. You know what I mean? To lose $3,000 is like, there's some people that lose and they know they'll never get it back for the rest of their lives.
Well, my heart goes out to Josh.
Oh,
We
God.
know. I can't imagine what he lost.
Yeah. And, to me, it's like Josh, is a master chess player.
Right.
And it just happened to be one of those times where he met someone that was just a little better.
There you go.
It happened so fast. One day, you know what I mean? And that was supposed to be the deal, that you didn't have to watch it. Well, I think Josh was so confident with it as well. He woke up on August 2nd in the morning. I think everybody was like, I did this just happen to my account? No. So Bill, yeah, it's thank you for making that comment.
Oh, I got a question for you.
Sure. Yeah, why are they all empty?
Well, because I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay.
I got the whole night yet, man. I'm 3 hours earlier, I think, than most people on Eastern time. So anyway, my question for that on the connections, I've probably asked this before,
Sure.
but
Doesn't matter.
what do you consider connection? Just like singing happy birthdays, connecting, sending out signs of getting rich, or do they have to connect back to make it?
They have to connect back. And again, set your standards a little higher, Bill. There's two things that I learned in this industry that are like a benchmark for me, or a bar. One is duplication has never happened in your organization until you've helped someone get a check. So when you guys see what's happening right now in Nigeria, to see, Joshua Daramella get paid, and then Mosh hit 25, Joshua hit 5K, Mosh hit 25K, and then 4 levels below Mosh, Joshua hit 25K. See what I mean? And so, that, and look how much volume is there, you guys. And that's what I call duplication, right? So you got 3 groups of people that all have made income. So that's one. Now, the definition of connection for me is me doing a number of things to get the person to know, like, and trust me enough to become someone that would watch that short video and be inspired or motivated enough to create a free account. So see, that was a lot of stuff. And to help you really get that clear, Bill, it'd be like if someone said, well, Bill, since you're single, what would you consider a good date? So you wouldn't say, well, on my dating app or on the dating website, I reached out to 6 women and none of them replied. That would not be a good date. So then you found a couple that went back and forth, so they responded, but did they commit to taking the conversation off the dating app or actually meeting for a cup of coffee or a drink? See what I mean? And then, is that still considered a good date? Because a lot of people are saying that it's really not even close to a relationship until it's the second date. See, so isn't it funny that just like we say the word love, and everyone that watches this video live or recorded has a different definition of love or God? I think everyone would have probably a different definition of connection. And so connection to me is what you and I are doing right now, Bill. It's not only do we trust and know each other, but there's actually a conversation that's going back and forth. It's not one way. So that cup of coffee for me is someone being at the right place at the right time that not only watched the video, but they also created a free account and said, man, I'd like to know you more, Bill. Is there any way we can jump on a Zoom and you can share with me a theoretical example so we could build this together? I'd love to get an extra payday for my family. So I'm really, really, really glad that you brought that up. Because again, if someone doesn't have the clarity of what I believe a connection is, because people would have a different conversation of what they thought a conversation was. See, I know people that can talk to people on social media, and then I come off and I say, so how it went? Oh my God, I met this guy, Bill Shoemaker. He's like the nicest, kindest guy in the world. He's just amazing. Did you send him the video? Oh no, we talked for an hour and a half, but I haven't got to the place yet where I feel comfortable sending the video. You see what I mean? It is like, so was that a conversation? Or was the person being very polite and just listening to you? Because that's not a conversation. So some people get so excited, they get someone on a Zoom or they chat and they just go off. You know what I mean? Like we call again, like you throw up on them or they ask for a drink of water and you hose them down with a fire hose. And see, they never ever stopped you and you were talking to them and throwing up. So you think that's a conversation. But the conversation should have an end result. So I'll leave it up to your imagination what would be the ultimate date, okay? I'll just leave that up to you guys for your imagination of what a successful date would be, right? But in this industry, you need to find out and listen to them and ask questions enough for them to get excited to actually watch that video and want to help somebody out, and we'll create a free affiliate account. And then that engages them. See, I know people that do Zooms with a lot of people, but they never show that video and they never get them to create a free account. See, that's, to me, that's you talking too much or you even listening too much. Because how many of you have been on a conversation with someone on a Zoom or social media and you pretty much know everything about them? You know when they were born, that they've been divorced, that they got one leg shorter than the other, that you know what I'm talking about? It's like so you think it's a conversation because you let them go off on you. So I always am going like, this is not going to go to the next step unless I get them to have a cup of coffee with me.
Perfect.
And so that cup of coffee is them watching that video and being the right person enough to create a free account. And then from there, congratulate them and get them on a Zoom and share with them how fast you want them to get a payday.
There you go. Perfect.
Boy, I'm telling you right now, that conversation that Bill and I just had, man, that's, if you guys don't think that being an inner circle is worth it, that right there was something that you guys could rewatch a number of times and go, because Joshua Darmella, the biggest thing that he had difficulty with is understanding why it was so important to show people a theoretical example. And he didn't understand till later that you're basically, through the theoretical example, is sharing with them, A, how they're going to get their first payday, 2, how they're going to get their money back on their initial product order, including tax and freight, and 3, how you're going to get them into profit, even the next rank events. So that's when people get excited and you start asking them, well, what are you going to do with that $300? What are you going to do with that $500? And they start telling you, and now you get to come backwards and say, well, in this scenario, Bill, we're looking for 2 people. Now, I think you already know this. We might have to go through quite a few to find 2 that want to supplement or double their income, replace their income. But I know you and I working together, go through the numbers, we're going to find the right people. And that's why people hate that one statement, right? You're one person away, Bill. You're just one person away. And then you see Joshua Darmella's story, and you go, bang, that was Maj. And so if his company wouldn't have shut down and Josh didn't build that connection prior to his company shutting down, So Joshua built a good enough relationship with him when his company stopped paying everybody. He remembered Josh. He reached out to him and said, let's go. Bam.
Bam. Well, he comes from his heart. That's what it's all about.
He does, doesn't he? I definitely gonna, I'm just shouting this out there, manifesting, but I'm almost positive that he'll be our next podcast. I'll interview him and just, you know, yeah.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah. Love you too, man. I appreciate you, Bill. That you always ask great questions. I really appreciate it.
We'll get it down.
Yep.
Bill, thank you so much. And yeah, that would be actually a very good podcast with Joshua.
Yeah, because I love people during that podcast to ask questions, because everyone's going to ask the same damn questions that we all laugh at, right? It's like, okay, how'd he do it? He talked to people he didn't know. God dang it. Can't there be another way of doing this? It's like, and I like Joshua because Joshua, when I met him, he really didn't have any money. So all the things that people think that they would do to shortcut this, like maybe I'll buy leads or I'll hire a virtual assistant, I'll build a brand, I'll buy some advertising. See, all this stuff, that's why I love finding people like Tomas and Joshua and even Candace in a way. You know, when I met Candace, man, she was about ready to lose frickin' everything. So if I would have told her the first thing you need to do is buy some leads, the answer from all three of those people, I can't do that. Aaron Parker, by the way, too. Aaron Parker was 3 months behind on everything when I found it. And so, you know, you help people get on their feet, then they forget who you are.
No, but you know what, Robert, you've had that story too. That's been part of your story. And I think that's what's so awesome about it, is the fact that it happened to you, so you know firsthand what to expect or how to direct people just based on that alone.
Yeah. And it's all about doing it, I guess, long enough without getting results where you're willing to surrender and then do it. You know, I still tell people all the time, if the first 2 weeks, the worst kind of success in the world is a little. If I would have got success my first 2 weeks in network marketing, didn't even know what it was, I'd probably be the same struggle story as a lot of the ones that you guys hear about. Because I would have got a little success, so I would have kept just doing the stuff that got me the little success. But it was the tragedy of those 2 weeks that made me very open-minded when I met someone that knew what the hell they were doing.
And following the basics that they taught.
Yeah. In fact, it was just the opposite. I was so humble, and you guys have heard my story, that I said to Bill Gould, I said, can you please, 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 I'm going to be homeless in 2 weeks. Would you please, please, please just tell me the only things I need to do? I don't want to do anything other than just what I need to do. And that was, Robert, see if you can get this video seen 70 times. I said, okay. And then if it doesn't work, I'm coming back to you and I'm kicking your butt if it doesn't work. Okay, Greg.
All right. Thank you, Bill Shoemaker, for your share. And Robert, thank you for continuing that line of thought, because I think, you know, that's something that people need to hear over and over and over again. It's like, and I know you preach it, master the mundane, follow the basics, follow what your mentor, your leader says, and especially one that's got documentation.
Craig's been around enough to know the steps, that's for sure.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. John Tier, your hand is up. It is now time to unmute yourself, please, sir, and share with us.
Hey.
What's up, John?
Oh, my income.
Yes, it is.
So, listen, Robert, there's a couple of things
I agree with you. I agree with you.
A couple of things that I wanted to say, probably a little bit of encouragement. Robert, we have a new pastor at our church. She kind of took over for a longtime pastor. But he preached a series for about 6 weeks, and it was called Detours Along Your Destiny. And it talked about Joseph and all the things that Joseph had gone through before he became, almost the head of Egypt. And it really did a kind of shift on my life, because sometimes we think about things, we set a goal, we're like, okay, we're gonna go straight there. And God says, no, I'm gonna show you this, but I need you to go through this to build character so you can get to the point of where I need you to be, so that when you get there, you can do what I need you to do. And so I think about some of the stuff that you were just currently going through, and I just said, those are just detours along your destiny.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Thank you, John, because it got me to, in the last couple of days after this happened, it got me to sort of reflect in a little bit about it's like if someone won the lottery. So I sort of looked at the gold bot like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, so are people going to win? And then they're going to do it just because they bought a membership, and they really are not now sort of forced to learn the skills to communicate and build something long term? Because what if that would have happened if they had like 20,000, 40,000, 100,000 in there? And now a person reshapes their whole life like winning the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
And then guess what? You got to come back and re-meet yourself when the money's gone.
Yeah.
And now you realize, wow, I that would be that little bit of success. And the only way that you could duplicate that is, I guess I got to keep buying lottery tickets. Maybe I can win again.
Yeah.
And I sort of looked at myself both times of me being brutally honest, just being tempted that this might be a shortcut and a faster way to getting to 25,000 orphans. And I got chills. I just got chills.
I had to, for myself, when Akashics first came out, I remember getting the basic membership, and I was like reading through all this stuff, and I said, I'm not going to do this. I just that's not my mindset to sit here and watch this all day long and try to decide when to sell and when to buy. I said, that's just not me. I just don't want to spend time doing that.
Right.
Although there are people who do that, all the time. And I was just like,
and one of the things that I always think is really unique about, because I haven't studied this at all, so none of you get mad at me. I have no interest in learning how to do something like I did in the past, being a mechanic, where yes, it was a way for me to provide for me and my family, end of story, period. And I made good money as an auto mechanic, but it's funny that you go through struggles in life being a person that has a job, because then what you do is you try to save a little bit of money, you try to put some money away, and then all of a sudden, the water heater breaks, and there's your savings, and then the economy goes ups and downs, and inflation comes in, and it's like people that are struggling seem to always be struggling because they're not looking for a journey out. And unfortunately, what we do as human beings is we look for the shortcut to get out of that, So what have you guys ever heard this, John? You probably have heard this. I got a guy, I think I told you guys about him in the past. His name is Bob Vickers. He is a guy me and my son built a website for, and he does artful askers, right? Does grants for people. He sends me a personal letter every 3 months. And with that is a bunch of these little cards. You know what I mean? It's funny that he still does this old school stuff. And I love this one. Before I share this one, it says, if God had a refrigerator, just understand that your picture would be on it. If he had a wallet, your photo's in it. He sends you flowers every day. It's called spring, It's called sunrise. It's called the air. It's called the sight. It's called the ear. His eye is a delight of his heart. Face it, friend. He is crazy about you.
Right. It's funny. I was getting ready to tell you, Robert, that there's no weapon formed against you will prosper.
Yeah.
You know?
And so honestly, I think that people might think that I'm putting on a facade when I lost this. I didn't. I was okay immediately. But this one here, I want to send to you guys, because tell me if I think we could grab this, but it's called There's a Hole in My Sidewalk. Okay. An autobiography in 5 short chapters. Chapter 1. I walk down the street. There's a big, deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in it. I'm lost. I am helpless. It isn't my fault. And it takes forever to get out of this hole. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There's that deep hole again in the sidewalk. I pretend that I don't see it, but I fall in it again. I can't believe I'm in the same place. I keep telling everyone this is not my fault. And it still takes me a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the street. There's that deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it there. I try to walk around and I still fall in. Is this a habit? By my eye, because my eyes are wide open and I know I am, and I do have a choice. And this time I get out immediately. I noticed that the one in chapter 3 is I fell in the hole. I'm not blaming anybody. Okay. Chapter 5, I walk down the same street. There's that deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5, I just decide to walk down a different street.
Yeah. Okay.
And of course, Craig being the kind of guy he is, he's already got a link to it. So
right.
But yeah, I guess I could hold this up and you guys could take whatever screenshot you wanted to take.
That's really nice.
But yeah, sometimes all of us, we keep taking the same street, right? My mentor, I remember a story that would be, I'm going to write it on here because it's going to end up being a video. But landmines. So my mentor always can turn a 10-minute story into an hour story.
Robert, I'm going to remind you of something you said, and it's really playing out. Many people may not have heard you say this, but I remember you saying this, and I'm watching it unfold right now. You made a declaration. When Josh went to free, you said, watch me, I'm going to take somebody who comes in for free and I'm going to drive him to the top.
Yes.
I remember you saying that, and we're watching it unfold right now.
Praise God. You're right. Absolutely. You're right.
I remember that. And the only other question I have for you is, I'm confused a little bit. I watched today's view, Josh's thing. Sometimes I feel like there's MDC and then there's Robert in MDC.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a thing. I'll tell you guys what it is too. And when I say this, I know you guys will get this. When I talk about duplication, John, the hardest thing about this industry is the way that somebody was brought in. And then we talk about the way that they were brought in. And then the very next thing that you hear is, that they get a little bit of success. And that's the only way to do the business. The only way to do the business. So now, if someone came in off an ad or someone that bought leads, that person comes in and immediately showing why they need to buy $800 worth of stuff. My generation called this front loading.
Yes.
It was the reason that Amway got the lawsuit against them.
Yes.
Because people are bringing people in, and here's the joke, John. It was like, so, instead of being free, builder, director, and executive, now it's like, do you want me to fill your trunk?
Yeah.
You want me to fill your garage? Do you want me to fill a storage facility or a warehouse? So when I got in this industry, you guys, there's people that were bringing people in for $25,000, $100,000 worth of product. Why? Because of the upfront commissions. They get to figure out how to sell it from this point on. And I've dealt with that my entire career. And every company that I've been in, there's always the person that wants the largest package that they can talk the owner into.
Yeah, they were saying mastermind, and I don't think I kept in my head was, did you ask Robert anything?
No.
And I was just like, because
they know how I feel. They know how I feel. And did you guys know that when I built a group in Hungary and Romania, I had no clue that those were the two poorest countries in Europe?
Isn't that like, doesn't success leave clues? Is it just
so while
it's just a blockage? I know it is. It's a blockage.
While everybody else is looking for people that, if this business is easy, John, you come up with $800 and then you bring in 5 people that have $800, and then they each bring in 5 people that have $800.
Right.
And here's the problem. Oh my God, you go from 0 to 250 in record time, and then you're looking for a new company.
Right.
See, you can't keep. It takes some skill, man. It takes some skill.
It's not sustainable.
And so when I built other companies, including Gano Excel, why Nigeria is growing so fast is because I just shared with them, listen, if you can find a way, a few of you guys, to pull all your money together, and you can come in for free and you buy 1 sachet, $5 for 1 sachet. And people were like, I could do that. And I said, well, tax and freight, what if you sold it for 7? There's documented stories out there right now of people getting on a 20-gallon tank, getting 100 more miles to a tank. Documented. So if you can make sure that someone bought something from you for $6 or $7 and $8, and they made money because they were able to go more kilometers for a tank of gas, and they were going, got it. So a lot of people came in free. Then a lot of people were just buying 1 sachet, and then they would buy 5 sachets, and then they would buy 10, and then they would come in as an executive. And so all of a sudden you see 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. And so no matter where a person's at, well, you could come in for free. What's your first goal? Well, can we scrape some money together to get a sachet? See what I mean? Mm-hmm. And their mentality is not to use the sachet, it's to sell the sachet. So now I'm repeating in Nigeria what I did in South America with, listen, a sachet of coffee. You know what I mean? So it is a little different from when I did it in another company, because you could buy 30 sachets for $20. So it was like, Craig's laughing, so this one's a little different, you know what I mean? Because, it's like 1 sachet from Java Bean, is worth the same as Starbucks. Poor people just don't drink coffee from Starbucks.
Yeah.
Like, so you're not trying to say to them, hey, John, how much do you spend at Starbucks? What? I can't afford Starbucks. See, it's hard to get them to the next level.
Robert, let me ask you, can any of that translate to here in the United States?
Zero.
Zero. So it just has to be something different because of the mentality of the people here in the United States.
Yeah. It really, really is. And so when you start getting like, this is a bold statement, but someone that comes from the place where I watched a video today, and I'm going to do my best to try to explain this. But the guy, maybe we could watch it. You guys okay with that?
Sure.
Because and when I share this with you, understand that I just listened to it, but me trying to do exactly what you're doing, John, I was trying to figure out, okay.
Lupton, but he talks about.
All right, so maybe I got to just refresh here. Let me see here.
We did hear the audio.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you guys see this okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Book Toxic Charity by Robert Lupton, but he talks about 5 steps to dependency. If you give something to somebody once, they'll appreciate it. If you give the same thing to that person again, they'll anticipate that you're going to do it a 3rd time. If you give it a 3rd time, they're going to have an expectation that you'll do it a 4th. If you give it a 4th time, they'll feel entitled to it. And a 5th time, they'll be dependent on you for it. It's appreciation, anticipation, expectation, entitlement, and dependency. I have seen that downward track for far too many people. And after more than 20 years of working among the poor, and now working with leaders across the nation in various cities who are also fighting poverty, I'm convinced that we are in a national crisis of dependency. I don't know if you've heard of the book Toxic Charity by Robert Lupton, but he talks about 5.
So can anybody understand why that video nailed me? I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if you come from a company that's always doing promotions, then the people that come in have to have a promotion. They can't do the business without a promotion. So they're in their mind with a limiting belief. This is great on breakthroughs, right? So you're thinking in your mind, this is what I have to get a result. I have to have this. So then you go to the company owners and you say, listen, in my previous companies and my other companies, this is what they did. Well, what they're explaining is the best month they ever had based off a promotion. So now the company revamps everything and comes out with these special packages with special names to them. And then they go out and share them with the field. Everyone's confused, but worse yet, the people that weren't taught to sell packages can't sell packages. These people can't get people involved in the company for free.
Right.
But they're going to be able to pull off this $800 package, right? And so that's where the problem has. So now watch. We talked about the things, right? You heard them go through them. All right, John. I understand. I understand that we need some kind of package with all the stuff and high volume. So I got it. Okay. Here you go. I don't know why people are not selling it. Don't get mad at me, John. Your ass is not on the leaderboard. You're the one that said that you and your group need this. How about setting an example? Why not being at least in the top 5 of the leaderboard so that I can look at the leaderboard and go 25? Well, now let's do it. We'll take 10,000. Okay, 10,000 in volume. And we're going to divide that by 500, right? So I can look at that and say, John did 10,000 in volume, and it says that he brought in 20 people. That means that John brought in 20 people at that $800 package. It's just simple math for me, right?
Right.
But the people that ask for the packages are not on the leaderboard, proving to their group that it can happen. So then the other people don't do it. So now what's the problem, John? What do we got to do now to solve the problem? Let's come up with some other names and come up with some other packages.
Yeah, Robert, my first thought about that after I saw it and all laid out, I said, wow, because it took me back some years. And it's like, man, those kinds of things, and I'm not trying to, but honestly, those kinds of things usually only benefit certain types of people.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've
And
always,
it,
I
and
when
it,
I first heard this, John, it was from Don Fela. All right.
mhm,
We can come up with a program so the top 5% of people that are sales types can go out and find other 5%ers that are sales types that can find other people that are 5%ers that are sales type.
right,
Let's design a program for them.
right.
So then you got Don Fela that goes, I know people that make more money selling cars from selling, Corollas and Camrys. And I do understand why you would want to sell a Rolls Royce. But dude, that's not for everyone. So when you go and look at the most cars ever sold, it's Model A and then it's Toyota Corolla. You know what I mean? It's like, so wait a minute, let's come up with a inexpensive, good gas mileage car that lasts for frickin' ever. You know what I mean? And let's go out and get the market with that and the Toyota pickup, and
See, I think the real problem, really, again, it's just my opinion, just observation in my opinion, is Robert, what you teach is being human to the other human beings.
amen.
Really, that's what it is. And you have to develop the skill of connecting with a person and then connecting in such a way where that person wants to give you a name of someone, and then connecting with that person where that person wants to give you someone, and so
Yes.
on and so forth.
Yes.
Because I've
Yeah.
really watched that professor video like over and over and over and over. And but you have to want to learn the skill of being able to talk to someone else's person. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't want to do that. I've heard a lot of leaders tell me, well, I'm not going to take my nose and your nose too, you know?
Right.
And the thing is that, but if you're doing this in the right way, it's not about someone saying no to you.
Right.
Because if you're asking them to do you a favor to take a look at something, that's not that's not a, you're getting a no because you keep trying to sell them on
Yeah.
instead of asking them to do you a favor. And that's the
Me.
psychology behind it.
Yeah. Me, everything. You guys have heard me use this analogy, and it's the best. If you are running a martial arts studio, right? And the mom and fathers or the grandparents are bringing in a person to check out the martial arts studio. The faster that you can get that young child to break a board, so they got this board that's made out of same thing you make model airplanes out of. You can't even really touch it without it breaking. You know what I mean? It's that flimsy. And so what you do is you bring something out like that and you get the child, the brand new person, a win.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get them a win. Why do you think good salespeople get people to try on something? Hey, John, we could talk forever about this, but let's just get you in this car. Let's go for a test drive.
Right.
See? And so to me, a test drive is becoming an affiliate. For me, a test drive is I get to show them the stereo. I get to show them all the stuff like, look at, here's the training, here's the mobile app, here's all this stuff, right? And while the company, some people are still asking for different and high-tech capture pages, I'm still sending a link to a page where they can either become a free customer or a free affiliate. Well, I already told them what to do in the video. So people are going, well, I send that video and people don't become a free account. That is no different than the first level that me and Bill were talking about. I sent somebody, hey, I hope you're having a blessed day. And I hope this message finds you and yours doing great. No reply. Hey, you know what I mean? It's the same thing. So John, thank you for bringing that up. Did you had a question in that, or you just like, hey, here's another one. I don't mind bringing this up at the inner circle. If you guys tell other people, they have to become an inner circle to see if I said this or not. It's really hilarious right now that we have all gone through the mastermind in the science of getting rich, right? And it's like Jenna, Chris Robinson on one side of the company, then Jenna. And now under Jenna, there's Jefferson Santos, right? And I don't even know if the old Snap people are under Jefferson. But anyway, there's John Herenzma and then Hannah Gallagher. So it was funny. I met Hannah in Budapest, right? Mm-hmm. And she reaches out to me and she says, Robert, you're the super affiliate in the company. What do you do? And I shared it with her and she just does it. And so now there's like almost feels like to me, even though I'm not engaged in it, but there's there's Jenna's group against Robert's group.
I feel that too.
And I'm like, you can't see anything that anybody else puts as a graphic that I'm not shouting them out. If you guys went on Hannah Gallagher's page, everything that she promotes in Winning Stories, you see me on there promoting it. And she's doing the same thing with me. And we're cross-lined.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked at her page, Facebook page, and I think it's me and only 2 other people that are Hannah's friends out of MDC. And I'm like going, this is funny to me because you guys have known me long enough that when they show the 1Ks and I look at the 1Ks and I go, okay, I got 60% of those. And then it goes to 5K and I got 3 out of the 5. And it goes to 25K and I got 2 out of the 3. There is a part of me that's competitive.
Right.
But it's not the competitive part that, hey, listen, you guys, helping people where they are and getting people in where they can afford to get in and letting them take little baby steps. It is going to be better than everyone selling big packages and no one can duplicate it. And then you just have to repeat it and do it over again. I'm telling you. So Craig knows me really well and Melody too. And there was always, they watched me in 2 different companies. And there was always the big package dudes against the free guy dude.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Wasn't it, Craig? And
absolutely. Yeah.
And as an owner, you guys got to get that. Again, we're going to go back and I'm going to blow up Joss Wagel like no other person. A lot of people ask Joss to do stuff and he just takes away all their freaking excuses.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are going, wait a minute, does it look like the company's steering a different direction? No, Joss is going to say, if you said, listen, Joss Wagel, if you would change the color, just frickin' change the color instead of green, make it purple in the logo. And I promise you, I will bring in $100 billion. And Josh is such a lack of ego. He would say, I need to get this clear, John. So you want the green to be purple? Yeah. I need one favor from you. Sure. Can you tell me what shade of purple? Can you send me some examples? Josh is just going to let these guys create packages, and do the thing, So once the promotion happened, now the second promotions are happening, the third. Some of these people have been in the company for over a year or 2 years. And there's some people that are in this company longer than me that they don't do any sales unless there's a promotion. So there's other super affiliates that are in this company before I got in that the only time they ever sell anything is on 420. They don't do anything for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I heard Jenna make references to that about, 90-day purge,
Yeah. And I'm going like, and there's other people that do nothing but just acquire customers. And so to each its own.
Right.
I tell people all the time, the only thing I can teach you guys is what I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I want to show you how to compete in a drag race, and then you come to me and say, well, listen, I'm listening to Jim Joe Beam, and I go, well, what kind of cars does he race? Oh, he doesn't even race cars, he races boats. He's a very successful boat racer. He's probably teaching some different stuff than me.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
You know, and God love him. You know,
Right.
I just love taking what, you know, because I'll share one last thing, John. And again, thank you for bringing this up. It's making me emotional, so I'm not going to apologize for that. The messages that I've gotten back from some of the people in Nigeria, looking into their back office and seeing them making 10 times more money than they've ever made in their entire lives, and what they're going to do for their families, and what they're going to do for other people that they know, that they love, that they want to take care of. I'm just going to throw this out there, but I just have a tendency to believe that those people that I supported this entire time to get them where they are, I'd like to see another idiot leader try to pull them away from me.
You know, Robert, I just had a quick download on them. Go ahead and get out of here. So maybe those things with the Bitcoin and the Akashics things, the GoBot, maybe those were distractions from where God really wants you to be.
I no doubt. And I just don't know why other people get affected when that happens, but it should be get back on track.
Right.
But, you know, I did that video, John, where it says, be careful what you pray for.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, in a verbal prayer like me each and every day, say, you know, dear Heavenly Father, thank you for creating me. Thank you for my mind, my spirit, my soul, my body. Thank you for the health. Thank you for the prosperity. And thank you for the gifts of the spirit that you've given me, one being choice. You gave me free will. Mm-hmm. And I surrender all and I pick you. So I'm surrendering all. I'm giving you permission to please help me, but guide me, interrupt me, throw a wrench into anything that I'm doing that's not taking me to where I got to go. And when I see it, I'm going to know it's you. So it brings us full circle, John, just like people got to be able to point in the wins and the victory and say, dear Heavenly Father, thank you. I give God all the glory. But you also got to do that when they slam doors in your face. You can't look at those of going, boy, here I failed again. So I don't know if this is really helping you guys with this breakthrough, because a lot of you have shared with me things that you've done that you're still embarrassed that you think that you made a mistake. When you don't realize if that really came true for you, you'd be on a different total path than you are now. Mm-hmm. So this is the first time that I've lost money. You know what I mean? In 2001, I had to file bankruptcy because
God's got you. God's got you. So he's got you so much.
I got a better credit rating now than I had before I filed bankruptcy.
Yeah, he's got you. And those appearance of losses are just opening the way for much more gains. I mean, you can already see it. Yeah. If you're in the spirit, you can already see it already happening. I mean, think about this.
John, the first thing, I love that we're masterminding, and I hope you guys are feeling it. It's like, here's the only thing that was really bothering me about the GoBot, no matter what. It's like, okay, so how long is it going to take for someone to have $200 for the membership, then $2,500? Because, you know, not only did you have to put in a minimum of $2,500, but we're also talking about a majority of the people that I know that are not even bankable. See, getting $2,500 into an investment account or a funding account is not one step. I got the money. No, it's like, it's got to be put into a crypto wallet, or it's got to be put into a bank. Most people don't have bank accounts. Does that bank account wire? You know, it's all this stuff that was a lot of steps that people had to take. And then Josh said, if, you know, when this works, he believed that it would. He eventually believed that they could figure out a bot that could do it at 500. But we're still talking $200 for the membership a month and then $500 to be the first initial investment. And so it already had me sort of going,
Well,
you know, this is not going to apply. This is not going to be available opportunity for a lot of people that I know.
And the observation, my observation of just being on the outside watching, it just seemed to always favor people who had more money than who had little money. That was my observation of it.
Thank you, John.
But, you know.
Thank you, John. I'll take that counsel. I know I take that counsel and I feel it. It is, especially with getting, for me personally, you guys, for me knowing the way that I build this business and the fruits of my labor for years in this Nigerian group and watching all these apples turn into orchards, you know what I mean? At exactly the same time as the bot shut down.
Exactly. I think that's the message there. When I heard Josh say, Nigeria is outselling everybody else. It's like, isn't that interesting?
And then what happened? Jenna jumps in. Oh, by the way, you know what I mean?
I saw
Wait a minute. Don't give Robert all the glory here. I gotta jump in there.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love you too, brother.
I hope you guys know that I'm very, very open to counsel. I believe that each and every one of you that trust your instincts and feelings can share that with me and others that are on the inner circle. We're all a family. So, John, thank you for sharing your heart. Bill, God, you guys are just, I mean, I know there might not be a lot of new people on here that are doing breakthroughs, but the people that are around, we keep seeming like we're taking this to a different level. You know what I mean? It just keeps getting gooder and gooder. So love you, John. Thank you so much.
You too, brother.
John, thank you so much. And I agree, Robert. I mean, that's the whole idea that I believe your inner circle is, you know, we mastermind. I mean, I know we had a mastermind group a while ago.
Yeah.
But I love how the people get involved, how everybody is helping each other and contributing. And that's what makes this whole thing work so well. So thank each and every one of you for contributing to the inner circle and being a part of it. We really appreciate it. James Saunders, you're coming up, and also Lisa Marie Cook. So James, let's go ahead, open up, and please share with us.
Hi, how are you, Robert?
I am blessed and highly favored and deeply loved, my brother. How are you?
I'm so good. If I would be better, I'd be you.
I used to tell people all the time, if I was any better, I'd be twins.
That's it. Same thing. I'm grateful for you because I can understand what John's talking about. You know, I mean, I got the 5K doing it the other way. You bring out some people and who buy some stuff, and these people buy some stuff. You can't get the 5K that way. You can get to any rank you want to get that way. But the problem with that methodology is it's not you. The problem with the methodology is there's no way to come in for free. You become an anti-free person. You just become totally an anti-free person. And then I'm gonna share a couple of wins because I'm gonna ask my question. The first win I want to share is I had a guy reach out to me today. He was my Uber driver.
James, you're the no limit soldier. No one's going to escape your peak of interest. You're a master.
I piqued his interest, and he said, this is what he sent me. He said, hey, Jim, can you send me a link so I can get started learning about this and doing it? I've heard some videos and would like to get going, although I work graveyards, but would like to try it. Thanks. So he reached out to me like out of nowhere. I forgot all about him because I wasn't
James,
following up with you. I got to go. I got things to do. Tell me
James,
yes.
you had the enthusiastic confidence of who you are. You know, it's like I know a lot of people want to know scripts and what to say and how I say it. You just got to put people's smile on their face and give them, you know, hey, listen, you know, James is running on a different level of energy every time I see him, man.
Here's number two. Number two, I stumbled into the living room. My wife's in a wheelchair. She's being dealt with a physical therapist. And the physical therapist, he becomes an affiliate. We're not playing.
How many of you know that if James gets like 20 minutes with you, you're in trouble. You just be like,
You're
you know,
doomed. Doomed. I looked at him, and at the same time, the nurse that's working with my wife was sitting there. He was watching me, and the nurse is from the Philippines. You spoke to the nurse. He's in my business. He's watching me. He said, "Jesus, you think I got another one? You just." And I say what I'm going to say next, not to brag or boast, because I know what it's like to go without.
yeah,
I know what it's like to drink water out of a mason jar. I know what it's like to not have any license. I know what it's like to be in the dark.
yeah.
I know what it's like to wish and hope and dream and want to ask Robert for some money, but wouldn't dare ask for any money. I mean, just downtrodden.
Right.
So I contacted Kai. I said, my brother, because you know many of you don't know. I'm telling you, Kai is my enroller. Kai reached out to me on Christmas Eve. Who does that? He called me. Who does that?
A person that's excited. That's who does that.
He called me on Christmas Eve. He said, you have multiple sclerosis, right? Do you still have multiple sclerosis? I said, it's like luggage. You don't get rid of it. He said, have you heard of CBD? I heard of it. What do you know about it? I don't know. Now I know a little bit, but just stop. Just stop it. If you're going to try to sell me some CBD, I promise you, give me 3 days. Don't call me. Don't text me for 3 days. And I promise you, I'll buy 2 or 3 bottles of CBD from you. He didn't realize that I was going to get off of the messenger. I immediately went to YouTube. I looked up HempWorks. I said, $10 million. Okay, $10 million in 2017. $100 million? Oh, hell no. Y'all ain't even. That moment, it was about 10 o'clock at night. I didn't call Kai back. He never checked it back with me. That moment, I became a part of Kai's team. I called Kai the next morning, and Kai said to me, have you decided how many bottles you're going to get, man? I said, bottles, smottles. Dude, I'm a part of your team. His mouth dropped open like,
Yeah.
He was amazing. And little did I know that not only was I his first affiliate, his very first, because he carried himself like he had thousands of people.
Yeah.
He didn't say it, but that's where he carried himself. He was homeless when he was talking to me. He was homeless when he was talking to me. I didn't know it. He was home. I'm going to say it again. He was homeless without a car when he was talking to me. And he made $10K the next month. I didn't know any of this, right?
Right.
So, but anyway, he was crying on the last Zoom that we did. He was crying. He was really booing. And I called him. I said, man, what's wrong, man? You hurting. What's wrong? How can I help you? He said, James, I'm hurting. I'm hurting, man. I got a roommate. I said, well, I know you made 10K, but let me tell you this. I know how it goes. You can be a 10K here. Next month, you can be a 0K tomorrow. I know how people be running around like, when you gonna make that? Well, shut up. You know, when are you gonna hit 1K, first of all? Because you don't even have a right to have an opinion about what I'm doing. But anyway, he was talking, and I said, well, you need help. What do you need, man? How can I help you? I need to move out of this apartment, man. I'm in here with a gangster, man. What do you mean you're in with a gangster? What do you mean you're in with a gangster? He's a drug dealer. And I knew what that meant. I said, drug dealer? That means he probably has a gun? Yeah, he has a gun. How much money do you need to get the hell out of that house? Just tell me. No, I'm not going to tell you, man, because I know how you are. You just ridiculous. If I tell you how much I need, you go and try to do something. No, I'm just asking you. Can you tell me how much you need? Well, let me put it to you like this. Would $1,000 help you? Would it? Yeah, I probably could do something with $1,000. I probably could move out of this apartment with $1,000. That's good. You have Cash App, right? Yeah, I have Cash App, but don't send me nothing tonight. Don't worry about it. I just sent you a little bit. I sent you 1,100, but don't worry about it. I'm not even asking you for the money back because it's not about that. I don't care about that. What I care about is not getting a phone call because you've been shot.
Yeah.
That's what I care about. That's what concerns me. You know, I mean, everything that you've taught me, everything that I've learned from Robert, I've learned it's not about me. It's what's in it for some other people that I can help. What's in it for the children? What's in it for Robert? What's in it for the people? What's in it for the caregiver? What's in it for the other person? What's in it for the lady from the Philippines? What's in it for them? So I can get them to a different level. It's not about me. And then I made a mistake. Oh my God, I made a mistake of calling Joshua. I called Joshua. Pastor Joshua. And I asked him, I said, man, what are you doing? And he told me what he was doing. I said, well, damn, sounds like you're just sharing a video. Sounds like, I'm listening to him, right? He's sharing a video. So what I said, well, you know what? I have a choice. I have some choices. I can do what Candace Bird Davis does. I can try to do what Aaron does. Or I can look and say, let me see, I got these polo wax here. We got Aaron over here. We got Robert over here. I think I'm gonna do what Robert does. I don't know. It just makes sense to me. I'm gonna do what he says I should do. And I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna preach that. So when somebody asks me, what do I do next? Well, first thing you need to do, you need to, but you've already done. I wouldn't be calling you if you hadn't done it. You need to become a free affiliate, which you've done. The number 2 thing you need to do is you need to set up your account so that you can be paid.
Yeah, I don't even do that. There's no need for me to help them set up everything in their back office. I'd rather get a brand new person underneath them because I know everything's set on default. So I know if they messed everything up and I got somebody underneath them that bought product, they end up this Thursday with something in their credit wallet. And you guys want to see somebody with money in their credit wallet? They don't even call you. They figure out how to get that money when it's in their credit wallet. And you guys know that now, Josh put new videos back there. Josh can see how many people are coming in and they've taken a lot of training out of there, just making it simple. It's like slow but sure. But James, man, thank you so much. I love you, brother.
So that's all I really have to share. My only question is this. when you have a person that says, this must be a scam. This must be a scam. What does one say? Now, I know what I say now. I'm not going to
Yeah,
share it.
I'll tell you exactly what I say. When people say this must be a scam, and I go, well, wouldn't you agree that everyone has a different definition of scam? So the first thing I need to do is there's only two reasons that a person ever calls anything anything. One is you or someone you loved had a personal experience that really shocked you to the core.
Mm.
All right. So if you tried something in the past and you got hurt and lost money, or maybe someone that you really love that's close to you got hurt and they lost money. And so the first thing you want to do when anybody says anything is just make them understand, James, that it's okay to have that thought. All right. And so that's when I say, so which one is it? And the person goes, well, it was me. I've tried a number of these programs and it didn't work. So then how do you define a scam? Do you define a scam of something that sounds too good to be true? And they go, yeah, maybe. And I go, well, you have to tell me your definition of a scam so I can share with you why it's not. Can I give you one example? And they go, sure. And I'd say, so if someone can get involved in the company for free and get the whole back office, the mobile app, everything for free, and they share their affiliate link, and when people buy stuff, they get paid and they see it in the credit wallet. Do you know of a company right now or a scam that's currently running where you can make money without investing any money?
Mm.
I said, because scams make you pay. And they go, wow. I said, so that's one way. So the company's almost 9 years old. So, you can get in for free. I can share with you a lot of people and you can see them talking about they've made money in this company. So that's one example. Is there another thing that you're looking at that you go, I think this is a scam? What is it? And so when they know that you're willing to help walk them through that, it's like now you're listening to them and you're helping them resolve what they think might be a scam. Most people just will say, you're stupid for thinking that. You know what I mean? That you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, by the way, do you have a job? Yeah. Well, you're in a pyramid. And if you go to church, you're in a pyramid. And our government's a pyramid. See, your family unit's a pyramid. See, this is not a conversation, and this is not connection. This is you trying to prove someone that said something that they're wrong. Now, they can be wrong, but it's the way that you go about helping them understand that, wait a minute, every time I bring up scam, I've never had anyone go, oh, that's okay thinking that way. This is usually why people think this way, and help me, answer some questions. Now, based on that, there's another thing, James, their attitude. So it's like, I'm sort of scared. This might be a scam. Other than the attitude, you're an idiot, this is a scam. Now, so the way you treat me, James, might come out with the no limit soldier, might be the next thing that would come out after that. So the people with the bad attitude, I say to them, can I ask you one question? They go, sure. I said, are you the kind of individual that if you've seen someone being abused or hurt, like say someone was beating up on a kid or something, are you the kind of person that would either try to interject to stop that from happening if a kid was being bullied? Or are you the kind of person that would at least call the cops? Or are you the kind of person that would just walk away? See? And they go, oh, no. I would jump in and defend a kid. I'd call 911. And I said, well, you just told me that I was in a illegal pyramid scheme. Here's my phone, call 911, turn my ass in. Now, before you do, they do arrest people for making false police reports. So you better be damn sure before you call 911 and turn my ass in for a scam. Now, these are people that would tell me that they believe it's a scam with bad attitude and there's other people around. See, if there's other people around and people bring up the scam thing, you'll see the other Robert Hollis. I go, hey, you want me to dial 911? I'll just hand you the phone. No, I don't want to do that. So you're not sure. You're just bringing up something. Are you the same kind of person that when a quarterback throws an interception, you tell everyone in the room, well, if I was a quarterback, I would never throw an interception? You're not an idiot like that, are you? So, yeah, it's because it's easy to just throw stuff out there. So did that help you, James?
It helped a lot. It was this right here, what you just went over, was major goals.
Thank you for asking the questions. Yeah, when people, the only other thing that I was thinking I do is, you guys know what FOMO is, right? And so fear of missing out, of fear of loss is, man, you got to be confident just to take it away from them. If you guys ever pull this and have the confidence to do this, it works miracles. So the person says, I think this is a scam. And your response is, yeah, you're probably right. Have a good day. That's right. And they just like, hang on, I'm a troll. I wanted to get a reaction out of you.
I've got another quick question right quick. The person will say it's a scam, and then they will come back by saying they watched the video, maybe they listened to the audio, but they're confused.
I tell people, if you're confused, just understand that it's a state of mind. Confusion is a state of mind. So what are you confused about? See, because some people just say, I'm confused. Do you guys still have people that watch a video and then they say this? They go, all right, I became a free affiliate. Now what? Now what? I reached out and connected to you, shared a video with you, and you became a free affiliate. I just gave you the training for free. What do you mean, now what? Now what? Well, let's get on a Zoom and I'll do a theoretical example and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right. Give James a hand. That was awesome. That was cool. Thank you so much for your loving heart, James. You're that way with the orphans. You're that way with Kai. You're an amazing human doing for sure. I love you, brother.
I love you too. Thank you.
James,
okay,
thank
let's
you.
try we'll get Lisa Marie in here.
All right, Lisa Marie, let's
Hey
do this.
guys. Okay, I won't try not to be very long at all. All right. So first of all, John's questions, bravo. I mean, those were hard questions to ask because you know what? None of us want to look like we're the complainer at all.
Right.
And you know, so that, and I think that stops a lot of us from asking a lot of questions.
Right.
And yeah, and James, God bless you for being there for Kai, you know, especially after Tarifa ordeal, you know, to be able to look out to other members, you know, that's huge, I think. So thank you for your kind heart. And I hope Kai does not get embarrassed that you shared this, but I think because of Tarifa, he should be proud that you did, maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
And now my question has a lot to do with what John's question was within Africa. Now, and I know that we're sorting, I know all this, but you know, when you have a team, there's 23 of them, and they all just boom, boom, boom. They were all right there, and that's momentum. And I feel like if I do not ask for help, that I'm taking their chances away,
Wow.
even if it's just one of them.
What can you do for people that don't want to participate in their own rescue?
But see, one person brought in 12 of them.
Right.
Yeah. But wow.
Yeah. It's still, Joshua has been planting seeds for 3 years. No one wants to talk about the 3 years that he planted seeds and didn't have any apple trees growing.
How do I not take it personally? Because
Stop it. Stop it. It's like you're not the savior. Someone already got that job.
I know, but
Not okay, but you want to reach out to somebody. Let's go back to the dating thing, right? So you guys watch me, do that, right? It just makes sense. If you reach out to somebody and say, hey, I really like you. I like your profile. Is there a way that we can have a cup of coffee? And they go, no. Or they go, nothing. They don't reply. Why would you take that personal?
but that's not what's happening.
Yes, it is what's happening.
These people are trying. They are
They're not
trying.
trying. They're telling you they're trying. I can log into your account right now, Lisa Marie. I can log in. I can look at all the people that you personally brought in, and I can look at their start dates.
Mm-hmm.
Trying is not the same as doing. It takes no skill to sign up a bunch of people that don't do anything.
Right. I do it all. Yeah.
It's like, so again, you got to ask yourself, why does this bother me? Why does it bother me that I find people, I sow into them, I spend my time, I give them free wisdom, and they won't read it, they won't apply it, and they won't do what I say. See, if I turned you in from a recruiter to a person that's building an empire, and instead just made you an owner of a company, let's call Buddy Place, right? And so you can't do it all yourself. You got like 60 animals there. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got all this stuff happening, and you start getting some help. And so you sit down with somebody, you interview them. They say, I grew up on a ranch. I grew up on a farm. I know how to do all the things that you told me to do. And so you get up the next morning at 6:30 and they don't show up. What an idiot you are, Lisa Marie.
Right.
No, you're not an idiot. You didn't do anything wrong. You offered them an opportunity and they didn't take advantage of it. So what would you do? Would you sit around and blame yourself? Or would you look for the next person that answered the ad?
I keep thinking that I'm doing the process wrong to throw them off track.
Well, stop that. Stop that, because you believing that it's your fault is why you don't stay sowing seed.
Yeah.
You stop sowing seed because, again, like we talked about, people that understand farming and planting, that's why they put 5 or 10 seeds in each hole. They're not going to count on that one seed.
Right. And I don't count on any of them. I don't.
Right.
And I'm trying
But
to,
you do. That's okay that you do it. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. Right?
Right.
So all you got to say is, okay, so why? Ask yourself out loud. Why is it that when I go out there and I find people and then the people don't do what they're supposed to do, that I blame myself, and then I get a little depressed and I get confused and upset, and so I stop planting seeds? Why do you do that? Okay, now I'm aware I do it. Now I'm aware I do it, so I'm going to stop doing that. Now,
Yeah.
question, Lisa Marie. Do you think I ever had this conversation with Joshua?
Maybe not, because
No. Yes, I did. Because everyone's a human being. So they believe that the reason that people won't do something is because it's their fault.
yeah.
I did it. I'm trying to find one person that doesn't blame themselves. And people do it in everything. It's like, wow, where'd the black eye come from, Lisa Marie? Oh, I got in a fight with my husband. Well, I don't understand. He shouldn't hit you. No, I deserved it. What? Yeah, I started it. I usually always say something wrong that upsets him. And you're listening to this and going, what?
Right.
She's not only in a bad relationship, she's getting beat and she thinks it's her fault. So then what do I tell you? Lisa Marie, listen, I don't give a shit what you think. You need to pack your shit and move out right now. No one will want me. No one will want me. I'll be alone for the rest of my life. And you just brought up a girl's name that everyone looked like as a light of sunshine, but no one knew what was going on behind the scenes.
Right. Right.
I guarantee you a bunch of people told her, listen, you got to get away from that guy. No, he's not a bad guy. I love him. You know, he's just having a hard time right now. Until we all go, how the hell did that happen?
Right.
Why didn't anybody see it? Because she hid it. She hid it. She told everybody it's okay. He'll turn around. He'll be fine. You know, no. So when you see yourself doing things that you're not supposed to do, that don't, and how do you know you're doing things wrong? They don't make you feel good. That's how you know things are not working right. So you're reaching out to these people and reaching out to these people and reaching out to these people and tell them when the opportunity presentation, which I'm looking at the clock. You know, but you understand what I'm saying, Lisa Marie?
Yeah.
If you're doing things for people, because what's the opposite feeling? The opposite feeling is you find people and they go, Lisa Marie, you've been an answer to my prayers. Now I understand why I do things this way. Now I see how this works. Will you help me? I'm gonna correct it and get better. And I'm just gonna get better. And I'm just gonna get better. And I'm just gonna get better. And the next thing you know, they get a payday. And then the next thing you know, they get paydays in a row. And then all of a sudden their residual check goes up. And then they find a diamond.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you see other people doing it, then we go through a fear of loss and we go, oh my God, you don't know how many people that I know that I've already know in Nigeria that still are not the right people. And I feel like they're missing out. No, they could have been Joshua.
Right. That's true.
They just wouldn't do what Joshua did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I gotta let go, let God.
Yeah. I asked Joshua straight out. I said, you got to give me a goal, a big, big, big goal. And he said, I don't want to teach people how to duplicate that have to spend 2 days, 6 hours a day traveling to pick up their product. He goes, I think I'm going to have to find a way to move to Lagos. And I said, but you got siblings and your mom. No, they need to move with me. So the first goal that we're going to accomplish is for you to make enough money where you can move your family to Lagos. Yeah. Now, I could have said to him, you know, you don't have to move to Lagos. But I didn't. That was his dream. That's what he wanted to do. And I said, so how many apples do we have to plant? How many seeds do we have to plant? And he's going, I got to get 2,000 people to watch that video. And I go, all right. So now it's like, they won't watch the video. They won't watch the video. They won't watch the training. They won't go through the video. So when people reach back to me immediately, Lisa Marie, and they go, I couldn't listen to your voice message. And I'm like, why? That's all I type is why. And they go, because I can't afford data. I need data. That's why I can't watch the YouTube videos. Well, listen, I only work with people that find a way to get free Wi-Fi to learn from me. So I always share with people from, poor countries, the fisherman's story. I say, listen, I got the bait for you. I busted my ass and created a video, but I documented myself. And I created a video that would bait them and they would grab it. I got the pole for you. I got the bait for you. I got everything.
And the directions.
Yeah. And when they won't do it, you can hear them say, oh, Lisa Marie, you don't know how hard I'm trying. Because people that sign up, 12 people right away, you know what they're usually doing? They got their email addresses and their information. They're just going on the page and signing them up. They're not even connecting with them. Oh,
seriously.
Yeah.
That didn't even cross my mind.
Of course it didn't. You're not that kind of person. When's the last time you broke into someone's house and stole a bunch of stuff out of their house?
Never.
You're not that person. So when we hear that happens, oh my God, did you hear Mary down the street got robbed? Yeah. Who would do that? Of course we can't think that way because we're not like that. So when people sign up a bunch of people, I have a back office. And I go into the back office, I look at their email, and I send them an email or send them a chat in the back office. Hi, Jill, how are you? I work directly with Lisa Marie. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. No response.
What the hell? Oh my gosh.
All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go so I can grab something to eat before this presentation. But man, what a great. Lisa Marie, love you so much. Oh, by the way, quick shout out. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Mary Valkic, she's on the leaderboard.
Oh,
yay, Mary.
Yes.
So
awesome.
We got to get more Inner Circle people on the leaderboard. You guys agree?
Congratulations, Mary. That's awesome.
So if you guys are in the leaderboard, I did notice your name. Who sent me the message that Mary was on the leaderboard? Someone did in the Inner Circle. Went, hey, did you see Mary was in there? I was like, really? That's cool. So I love you guys. Greg, go ahead and close it out so we can go.
Gotcha. Thank you so much, Robert, and everybody who has participated today. Got to give it out to John Tier, James Saunders, Bill Shoemaker, Lisa Marie Cook. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching. Thank you for liking our video on YouTube. If you've watched there, go ahead and just click that thumbs up. We appreciate it very, very much. Don't forget, this Saturday, I'm assuming, Robert, Ask Me Anything.
Yep.
Ask Me Anything with Robert Hollis starting at 12 noon Pacific. We're going to post it everywhere you are on the socials. So please watch for it. Please join us. Please share with others so they can join us as well and learn about what an incredible group we are. And of course, you're going to ask the millionaire anything, just like we kind of did today. and maybe they'll get breakthroughs as well and join us as part of the Inner Circle. We appreciate you. We love you. Until next time, Robert, bless you. Thank you so much. Give out props also to Matthew Hollis for being our executive producer and foundation. Until next time, everyone, please be good to yourselves. Be cash. And bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Unmute everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
and
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
Hi, Freddie.
Craig.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank
Robert.
you, Bill. Thank you, John. Thank
Welcome
you,
back,
Greg.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Greg,
very
Bill.
much.
Arthur.
James,
Thank
Lisa.
Rita. Thank you,
Yes. Bye,
Rebecca.
guys.
Thank you,
Thank
Robert.
Love you guys.
Karen. Love you guys all.
James, John, Bill,
Thank
see you
you.
guys.
Take care,
Joni.
everyone.